Welcome to this House of the Dragon mini review and Easter eggs. This episode was great as per usual, albeit just a tiny bit slow. We had a boar hunt, but this time the boar hunt didn't end in an all-out war of the Seven Kingdoms. The opening to this episode was just absolutely stunning, and F's in the chat for your boy who got squashed. As bad as season 7 and 8 were, the dragons were pretty metal AF, and here we see them being truly used as a weapon of war, and it makes me think that, or really be upset that we didn't get the Aegon's conquest, which I was expecting when I was reading Fire and Blood, thinking they're going to adapt this. Now, our boy Daemon flies in on Caraxes, aka the Blood Worm, however you say that, and I love how it's like a slender worm-style dragon, and it shows a variation in the dragons that the Targaryens had. The battle scenes and the show's production overall is very, very good. Of course, it's expensive, as we know, but Marvel shows look bad compared to this, and only Rings of Power almost comes close to this, and even that, I think, had like $50 million per episode. But did you expect anything less? As the main show's battles were on another level, except the long night there, as all I saw was my tired ass reflection at 4 AM in the dark TV, looking back at me thinking, Matthew, why are you doing this? Now, Rhaenyra's heirage is possibly under threat as we fast forward and Aegon has been born, named after Aegon the Conqueror, and this whole episode, well, the parts in Westeros, felt every bit the political subterfuge we know and loved in the OG show, and this is Succession with Dragons. I loved it, but one criticism I would say is that what I liked about Game of Thrones was seeing the different stories. What I really loved about the books, why I just read them in just one holiday in the summer in France way back when, is that, well, you go from one chapter, you read a chapter, and then you go to someone else's point of view, and you flit, and you're just gripped. But here, like I said, this is pretty much Succession with Dragons, but that's not a bad thing. It just takes some getting used to, as the suitors are coming after Rhaenyra, while her father is petitioned to name his son his heir, which he refuses. Seeing Viserys' decline is interesting, as he's falling apart after pricking his finger. He's lost 2 of them. The adventure of Rhaenyra and Kristen Cole was fun, and she reminds me of a mix of Arya and Daenerys, with the latter being so very obvious. It's clear her father for now won't betray her, as he made her heir out of love. They are hunting a white hart, which signifies royalty in Westeros before dragons, and it's clear she will become queen, as well as signposted here. I'm excited to see the fallout of her and Alicent continue, but where the Stepstones were the absolute standout of this. The way that Daemon just was, the acting, the no words from Matt Smith as he went off to go and fight on his own, angry that, well, he's been kind of mugged off, but helped in a way. He's got the blood of the dragon flowing through him. The time jumps are a bit jarring to me, even as a book reader, as we're skipping a lot of motivation and characterization, which was the problem with season 7 and 8, as they kept fast travelling around the map like a Ubisoft game. But that's just me wanting more time with the characters. With the Stepstones 1, Daemon is a conqueror like his ancestor, and I love this show. Now, let's get into the game of Easter eggs and references. At number 1, you may recognise Jason Lannister. The actor who's playing him played Hugh of the Vale, a suspect in Jorah Arryn's death, and got a lance to the throat in season 1 of Game of Thrones. The White Stag hunt scene is similar to Robert's in 2 ways. Both Robert and Viserys were looking for a white stag, and a royal was attacked by a boar. At number 3, there's a third way, as this is actually where Robert was attacked by the said boar, as they were in the King's Wood. Now, if you look closely, you can see Viserys lost 2 fingers. In episode 1, he pricked his finger, and in episode 2, it was being tended to. And lastly, we have callbacks to the Battle of the Bastards, with both battles just before the chaos ensuing have our heroes with their back to the camera.